Let's go to the river. Ah, so beautiful. So beautiful. I'm gonna show you the moon. Oh my god. Alright, this is freakingly beautiful. For the past few years, I've been confronting death more frequently than usual, let's say. I came here to Kazakhstan a year and a few months ago. There were a few stray dogs living in this neighborhood, and they became my companions. We went for multiple walks. They really became my true friends, and I did not have like human friends. And what happened in the past year? So 3 of 4 dogs died. They died at different circumstances. The last death in particular, the death of my very beloved friend, Volchitsa. I called her Volchitsa. She looked like a female wolf. Her death was gracefully beautiful, gracefully tragic, or tragically graceful. I don't know how to put that. She died with my presence. She didn't die alone. I mean, I was blessed to be with her, and she was blessed to have me as, her only really real, like true human friend. I was holding her. I was on the ground on my knees, and I was watching her like we knew what's gonna happen. So I'm telling this because I want to share how my perspective, how my belief about death changed, what attitude I have to it. Because I think it is interesting. I think it is interesting and it might help someone. Okay, where do I start? There are 2 key concepts. One is brought to me through listening to a few NDE stories. NDE stands for near-death experiences. I've listened to magical, unbelievable stories by people who physically died and were transferred to a certain place and space and time where they have gained certain knowledge about afterlife. Whether you believe it, whether you don't, whether that's like a very new concept to you, it's really worth exploring and discovering. The one element that combines all of their stories is that when they experienced what they call unconditional love, this essence of the soul continuing to live and being in internal peace and safety and surrounded and like being love itself, this is like what unites them. Like all of these stories are united by this one element. People don't want to go back to life. whether they have a choice or they don't. Like, most of them prefer to stay. And if that's what's on the other side, I think this is a very comforting thought to keep in mind when you experience your loved ones die or about to die, or you see them dying, or the act of dying is terrible. It is painful. It is ugly sometimes. It is everything. But what happens after that? All of us enter this amazing world, amazing space. It is magical. It is blissful peace with, as people say, colors that are not earthly colors. The feeling that you have cannot be compared to anything. This thought is very comforting, and this is one factor that changed my belief about how I should react to people or animals dying. And the second factor is the conversation, or many conversations we had with my boyfriend, and the way he also what attitude he has to it, because I really love his attitude. He says that grieving or that mourning about someone who died is usually very self-centered. We think that, oh, what should I do now? Once they passed away, what should I do now? We always think about ourselves, or we might think that about the things that person hasn't managed to do, and we didn't have enough time with them, etc. Those are very destructive thoughts. What my boyfriend says is kind of is the way to reverse those thoughts. Try to remember the good times, not in a way of being so sad that we're not gonna have any more new experiences like that, but in a way of being grateful for whatever we had, because everything is changing. Everything has a certain cycle in nature and life. Everything ends, and this is the thing, being very grateful for whatever you have, or anyone who was near and dear and very close to you who died. It's by remembering them in a way of celebrating the joy, the happiness that you had together, the lessons you've shared together, the wisdom you've learned from it. And the other thing is not being so sad, because they actually live to that world where there's eternal bliss and love, and they're gonna be we don't even know how great that feeling is, how peaceful it is, and how much happiness there is. We don't know that feeling, and we might think we might have very different opinions on that, and we're choosing to believe whatever we want. But I find it very comforting, and I find it very true to think that afterlife is not a bad thing. It's not complete and absolute darkness, or it's not the end. It's never the end. It's the beginning of understanding of a greater concept. So that would help me, at least, to cope with so many deaths I experienced living here. All right, I know we'll finish it with the third concept that I can experience by myself. I feel the energy that those people are talking about, the energy of love. There's something that it is very hard to describe with words. So I would say that the times when I feel it is usually when I lie down. I will lie down on the grass, on the ground, it's winter now, the river is frozen, and I might go to the river and I will lie down on the river, look up at the sky, and like quiet my mind, try to quiet my mind. Or if it's, I know it's difficult to do, to quiet your mind. That's why I started saying thank you, or like being very understanding that, like, how grateful, like how privileged I am to be living this life right now, to be alive. And that helps me quiet my mind. And at that moment, I feel this love. And I also feel it lying down in Shavasana when doing yoga. So basically, like this connection that you have with the ground. Physical world is definitely not the only thing that exists, is there. Like, there are so many spaces that we don't know about. And that might be like for another topic of discussion, but still, like, if you think of very small creatures like insects and bugs, and like how differently they see the world, their perception is so different. Like, why then we humans would think that this is the only right perception of the world that we see? There has to be something else out there, or someone else out there, whatever that is. I really believe it's there, and we just don't see it. We don't understand. If those, like, the people who had those unearthly experiences prove that there's something out there, and it is beautiful, and it's like, it's goodness, it's love, right? Like, people don't want to go back to Earth experiencing that, and that, I think that says a lot. If you're still watching this, I just wanted to let you know that maybe you would consider taking enough time before you form a certain opinion or react to something, have a certain attitude, because it really worked for me. I took really a lot of time to form my opinion and to be okay with it, to be at peace with how I feel and what I believe in. And now that I'm recording it today, it feels really right. Maybe someone needs it right now. Like, this is, I think, the most useful thing to do, to share things that might comfort somebody. Because as people say, life here on Earth is challenging. Thank you so much for watching. Very interesting topic. Yes, that's all. Okay, that's it. That's all I have.